while. I know. Prairie Girl just hasn't found the right time to make a video. So, we've been cooking our breakfast out on the barbecuer, on the deck, because the mornings have been beautiful. Well, this morning it's a little cooler, and we have not started our cook stove for a few days, and so Cowboy started it up, and I'm cooking us a pretty big breakfast. I've got some fried taters going. I had brought in a couple of potatoes from our root cellar that we grew last year from our garden. And we do have our potatoes in for this year, and some of them are starting to sprout. But we are still using really good potatoes. I've got some sausage cooking, and now I'm working on some farm fresh scrambled eggs for us and Emma, the little dog, and she's growing like a weed, and she could smell me cooking this. Cowboy had to take her outside to go check on the goats because she was whimpering and just begging for food. She was getting noisy. But anyway, I just wanted to pop on today. We are in the busy season of trying to get our gardens lined out. Check out some of my older videos on our greenhouse we built out of pallets and cattle panels. I realized today that our channel will have almost 1,000 subscribers really soon. It's at 920 subscribers. So I better find something to give away when it hits 1,000 subscribers. Well, I can't do lives here because of our service, but we will do something a little different. I'm not sure yet what, and I had a hard time lately to get videos going, and I need to get better at that. But today I just wanted to pop on while I was cooking breakfast and say hi and let you know that everything on the homestead has been going great. Cowboy and I have been doing awesome. No issues. Our lifestyle here during the pandemic really has not changed any whatsoever. We do stay away from a lot of, things going on, but we usually did anyway, so that wasn't a big deal. Oh, those are looking so good and smell. I've got a little bit of onion in there. These are almost done. But, we've just done what we normally do here on the homestead. And we're just careful, and we're in that bracket where we want to stay careful because we really don't want it. I think there's a whole lot more to it, and I think all of you out there know there's a lot more to it too. It's sad because of all this homegrown food and milk and eggs and pork, and it's crazy, and I don't like the thought of what's happening to our food system. So we're really ramping up here on the homestead of getting our supply in for the year, whether it be meat or veggies, get our garden growing. And we feel that's very important at this stage, is to have a garden, grow what you can. If you haven't grown food, I highly suggest you find somebody that has grown a garden and ask for help and ideas and tips, because you are going to be so happy when you can grow your own food. And start small this year, but always be planning to be doing more ahead. We had a little bull butchered that we brought in. We've got a pig lined out to get butchered. The Hutterites are going to butcher me about 20 meat chickens, which we did not get raised on the homestead this year. We're still just trying to get set up. We've been here 2 years this spring, and so we've been working hard at getting set up with everything. And Cowboy turned 70 last month, and so we just take it a little slower than we normally used to. We have our potato garden all planted, and it started to come up. We have 3 other gardens now that we need to take our row cover off, weed fabric off, and till and fertilize and get our fabric back down. And hopefully get some garden seeds in really soon. I can hear this is getting hot. I'm going to pull it over here. But it's just something that everybody should take charge of, your food system. Wood heat. If you have no backup heat, you need to have some backup heat. You need lanterns. You need, your list of preps are far beyond food and water. And although those are very main and very important, there are more things on a list that you should be looking for and starting to check off, whether it's lamps, lamp oil, wicks, matches, say batteries for flashlights, extra candles, because I don't think this thing is done. I really don't think it's over, and I think they're really going to test us more than most of us can handle. Here on the homestead, we're pretty well set up, pretty well sufficient. We grow our own garden, we raise our own chickens, and yesterday I did go ahead and start a broody hen with 14 eggs under her. I'm so excited. I marked them all. We'll see in probably 3 weeks how well that does. I have 2 roosters for the amount of chickens I have, the hens, so I'm hoping my eggs are all fertile. Even if I were to get 5 to 7 chicks out of what she's setting on, would be perfect. If I could raise that many extra every year to keep my flock and the freezer, with a few critters in, and I'm sure she's not the only hen to go ahead and hatch this year, but she's the broodiest right now, so I gave her 14 eggs yesterday. So find me over on my Facebook page. It's called Prairie Girl Farm. I do a lot more little shorter videos and pictures over there when I can. My service for internet is very poor. So on my page, for some reason, it does not even give me an option to comment or reply, but I get to read your comments. So please go ahead and give me comments, and I love to read them. And eventually I try to get back when I do get a service, but from my phone here, it will not let me comment to anybody. It shows on anybody else's page or my timeline, I can comment and reply, but not on my page. And I don't know why that is, but that's the way it is. So bear with me. I'm not ignoring anybody. I like to, excuse me, I need my cup of coffee. I like to post my pictures and little videos of just our homestead, and to help others see there is another lifestyle. And I know it's not for everybody, that is for sure. But if you're considering moving out on some acreage, we have it all. We've got chickens, we've got goats, we have dairy cows, miniature Jersey gonna pop pretty soon, and our barn's gonna be busy with some baby goats. We've got a couple mares gonna foal, so follow us along, but check us out on Prairie Girl Farm. We will talk to you later. That's a little fella running around. The big cow is Jersey Girl, and this little heifer to calve in a while. She's starting to bag a little. That's a little Molly. We got her in the barnyard so she's closer for us to watch. We've been stealing milk from Jersey Girl whenever we need it. The little calf has been keeping her pretty content and not too full. We'll steal some more today. We made the best homemade ice cream yesterday. It was Sunday afternoon. We used Jersey's cream and her milk and made the best vanilla ice cream. I told Cowboy we need to milk. Be sure to have our fresh cream and fresh milk for the weekend. That might be our treat this summer. Just some homemade ice cream. Little Molly's pretty small. So we've got a few big tummies in here. Nothing that's really close. There should be some this week though. I'm thinking my milk and nanny Heidi is bred, but she's going to be later. I'm not seeing hardly a bag on her. You can definitely tell we're getting very close to having babies. I think the big white Nubian over there will be one of the first of the big goats. So keep following along. There should be babies soon. Little Miss Emma is growing like a weed. She likes to play fetch now, but she also loves to make the chickens fly and run. So far, she hasn't grabbed any, but that's why she's on the leash right now when we come out to the barnyard, because she needs to know that she can't chase the chickens. She's got to be out amongst them all the time, but she can't chase them. If she was just to make them flutter and fly a little, I would be fine, but that always leads to something a little more serious. We just gathered some eggs. I'll take you over and show you my setting hen and check her eggs out. And I also have the turkey hen setting, and I think I'll give her a few more eggs. I don't have the turkey eggs, but I'm going to give her chicken eggs. The water hole is busy this morning. So yesterday I marked 14 eggs with the date 5/3 and an X on the back side. And I gave her 14 eggs. And she's sitting on all of them. I've marked them. Let's see if we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So we've got one in here that's not marked. I'll bet it's this one right here. So that's a good egg. But if I mark them, I can check them every day, pull the new ones out so they're not ruined. She, some days, seems like she wants to be broody. Cowboy just picked these eggs from the barn. They're fresh. And sorry it's noisy in here. I have the turkey hen setting, and I've been putting eggs under her today. Her egg is not fertile, so I'm giving her chicken eggs. And this is what we're going to do. She hisses. We're going to give you some more eggs, girl. I think I have 8 under her with 1 turkey egg. 8. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 more here. We'll just give her some more. I need to bring my marker out though and mark these two the same way I did for the chickens. You're doing good. I'll give you some more. Got 3 more to go. She hisses. So far she hasn't got naughty and pecked at me. So I'm thinking that beak would be kind of damaging. There we go. We've got quite a bunch of eggs under her. So I'm sure that feathered wing will just cover them all up and tuck them in. But I'll bring a marker out later today and mark all those with the date. And then I can be gathering fresh eggs from there. Gosh, it's noisy, girls. It's their busy time in the coop. Let's go check out the greenhouse. We've moved the little coop and getting it set up for the ducks. We'll make a bigger run back here for the ducks as soon as I get more pallets in here. This over here, I put up some old wooden panels that I had built years ago and tilled it and threw in all kinds of flower seeds and got it watered down. And here's our pallet and panel greenhouse. We've rolled up the back side. The sides on the long sides are still down, and I think tonight we'll have to roll this one back down again just because it's supposed to freeze. But everything that I've planted in here is starting to sprout. My beans are up, my peas are up against the fence. I don't know if you can see them very well. I've got trays of stuff in here to plant. What you see to the left, green, would be radishes. Down here I've got some, where are we at? Some spinach growing and lots of lettuce. Our door is on the other side. We don't have a regular screen door for it yet. We'll go around and take a look. This is a 14 by 20. Okay, Emma. Emma's on a leash just because she's in the learning stages. I've got this makeshift up right now just to keep my chickens out. We do have a solid door. And today I probably could do that, shut it. But we've got a good airflow coming through with the window open. And I watered it last night, and I can really tell that the green beans over there have really sprouted since I watered last night. It really grew. So we'll go over here. Come on, Emma. This greenhouse over here is my old greenhouse. Right in here. Nothing great. And I've got, oh, it looks like they got a little chilled. We had the door open, and I see some wilted last night. I think they'll be fine when the warm sun comes out. Maybe I'll close it up. But I don't have too many starts because we've just struggled with our weather. We've had 8 inches of really wet snow and cold, and it's just taken it a long time for spring to really get here and stay. We do have 2 rows of potatoes planted up there at the far end, and we're working our way down. We've got 3 garden spots like this over here, and that's our main gardens. We've got one over there behind that building, and orchard trees. We have another big potato patch up the coulee that we've got 8 rows of potatoes. So it's just time, but we just need the weather to cooperate. So Frankie is coming towards me. She's the one right here on the right. And she's heavy with foal, and she's bagging up. So it won't be too much longer for her. We have another one up the coulee that is going to foal probably in another month. But this gal here should be close. So we had gotten 2 little guineas earlier, and one was just staying way smaller than this one, and we lost it. It didn't stay alive. It was always seemed a little weaker. But we've got one here, and he's doing good. Got his food and his water, and he's close to the chickens when they come out during the day, so he can get adjusted, and the ducks are right across the fence from him. And then over here, let me shut my cage. In the little old coop, we have turkeys, and they're doing great. There they are. We'll just step inside and watch them a minute. They are growing fast. They really get to running around. and playing. Kind of hard to see them with the sun coming through here. They're pretty curious birds. So hopefully we'll get at least maybe 2 toms and 4 hens is my hope. That way we can butcher 1 tom for Thanksgiving and keep the rest for breeding. But we will wait and see what happens. I can't tell yet what they are. Well, just got chores finished up, and I had posted online that I would have eggs out at my gate again this morning. It's Monday morning, and I tell folks, just bring your basket or your own cartons. There's a money box down there. Put your money in it. And I don't know how many dozen we put out there, several dozen, and I know I sold at least 12 dozen so far within the first half hour. It's amazing, and there's cash in the box, and it's just a blessing to know that folks are so honest for the most part, it seems like, around, and it helps me out to buy the feed for these chickens, as well as it helps them out when there's a supply shortage of eggs in some stores, some areas, and some places you're only allowed maybe 2 dozen at the most, and when you've got a big family you go through a lot of eggs. So I just went and picked up the cash and just to check to see what was down there left for eggs. I was totally shocked. I had 3 huge baskets full, and there might be 1 basket left partial, and I believe there was still 1 lady wanting eggs, but it was a busy spot within the first half hour of doing this, and it thrills my heart, and I'm glad that they're enjoying our farm fresh eggs, and I'm glad that they're taking advantage of just helping themselves to pick up their own eggs and to leave their money. I've had such nice notes. I've had tips. I've had notes saying thank you for doing this. So it's been a real blessing, I think, on both ends. Anyway, I poured me a cup of coffee, sitting out of the wind on the deck in the sunshine right now. But we've just really had a cool morning. As you saw earlier, my one greenhouse, I checked the plants a little closer, and they're a little wilted, but I closed it all up, and I think with the heat and the damp soil that they'll perk up again. They're not like froze, but boy, we're having a hard time with this weather, and going to try to get a garden in. Keeping our fingers crossed, and I do a lot of praying, asking for good crops this year for us to preserve, put in our root cellar. And anyway, folks, for now I'm just going to finish my coffee, and we will chat again real soon. Thanks for joining me again today. Guess what? I saw 2 more vehicles down at the gate, so I thought, well, I better go check to see how many eggs are there, and I did go out and squeeze the hens one more time. No, I really didn't, but I had 1 basket full of eggs left I could take down there, and I get down there to check to see how many are left, and the baskets were empty. So within the first half hour, I sold $48 worth of eggs. What a blessing. That will buy 3 bags of feed for me, and that really helps out. So I'm going to have to go out and have a talk with the hens and tell them to pick up their production a little bit, because we have some people needing eggs. So anyway, but we get about 40 a day now, 35, usually. And so it won't be long, we'll have another stash ready to take down there again. But it's just been a blessing to be able to help folks out that way, and in return it helps us out. So there you go, folks.